Hey, what's up, everybody? So, day 2 of Packers minicamp is now over. So, I want to go over a few different tweets from the Packers reporters who were there. And I'll start off by touching on the newest signing that came out yesterday. According to the Packers official website, the Packers signed Cameron Young. It came out here saying Packers signed defensive lineman Cameron Young. Young, 6'3", 304, a third-year player out of Mississippi State. Was originally selected by the Seattle Seahawks in the 4th round of the 2023 NFL Draft. He played in 17 games with 1 start for the Seahawks in 2 seasons, recording 18 tackles, 10 solo, a tackle for loss, a QB hit, and a pass defended. In college, Young started 25 of 42 games, played for the Bulldogs, posting 107 tackles, 35 solo, 9 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks in 5 seasons. He will wear number 78 for the Packers. So the Packers get another defensive lineman, and I think with them losing TJ Slaton this offseason, I have wondered, how this Packers run defense is going to be without TJ Slaton, because I think he was pretty solid against the run. And now the Packers, have added some guys in the draft, and they also add another guy here in Cameron Young. So another defensive lineman to compete for one of those depth spots, maybe, like the 5th or 6th defensive lineman. So that's the news of the signing. Now here we have just a few tweets from today at minicamp. We have from Rob Demovsky, 2 new guys not practicing, Nate Hobbs and Rasheed Walker. And then a lot of the same players not practicing as yesterday. Quay Walker, Christian Watson, Micah Robinson, Kalen King, Zane Anderson, Colin Oliver, Aaron Banks, John Oliver, Elton Jenkins, and Julian Hicks. And that's from Ryan Wood. So a lot of the same as yesterday. And then from Mike Spofford for a second straight day at Packers minicamp, wide receiver Bo Melton is working drills with cornerbacks. So that was one of the more interesting things that did come out yesterday, was the fact that the Packers, a day or so after releasing Jaire, decide to try Bo Melton out at corner. And I think it makes tons of sense. If the Packers see Bo Melton as a guy that Matt LaFleur mentioned is solid on special teams and tackling and that kind of thing, why not try him out there? It would be another thing if he was the Packers' best wide receiver, because at that, I don't think you would do such a thing if, they're one of your top wide receivers. And I think he's a solid wide receiver. We saw that 100-yard game a year or two ago, whenever that was. But now with him being the 5th, 6th wide receiver on the team, why not try him out at corner if that's an area where maybe you have some weakness now with Jaire gone? It sounds like the Packers are pretty comfortable with the room there. Gutekunst seems to be pretty comfortable with Carrington Valentine, Keyshawn Nixon, and Nate Hobbs. And there is a lot of young talent. We'll see if some of those guys can rise during camp and someone come up and be maybe solid 4th corner. But Bo Melton, we'll see what happens here with Bo Melton. It's interesting. Why not try it? No risk there. And then continuing here from Andy Herman, who says, so far at practice, Bo Melton has been at wide receiver, cornerback, kick coverage, kick return, punt coverage, and punt return. So doing it all at practice. And then we have from Wes Hodquist, who says, the more I watch Malik Willis, the less I understand how the Packers managed to get him for late 7th. Effortless throwing motion, just put it on money for Fitzpatrick on a post. And Willis has just 1 year left on his deal, so he will be the Packers' backup this year. Who knows what will happen after 2025? It could be that some other team out there wants to bring him in. I think if you're a team that's in need of a quarterback, I think Malik Willis should get a shot at starting again, because what he showed with the Packers, I think that some teams out there could utilize his skill set, and so he may not be back next year. Then from Rob Demovsky to end it, there wasn't a ton out there today, but Demovsky says, what an end to practice. Jordan Love with Lucas Van Ness in his face uncorked a deep ball to Mecole Hardman for a 74-yard touchdown. He got behind the defense, caught it over the shoulder at the 30-yard line, and beat them to the end zone. So Mecole Hardman, who I feel like his signing got a little bit pushed under the rug just because of all the draftees coming in and everything. Of course, he was signed before that. But who knows, how much playing time he'll get here. Signed to a pretty cheap deal, but he has that deep speed, and there you can see it with him getting past the defense. So the Packers have a ton of wide receiver talent here. If you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.